Mr. Captain Jerry, Lady Vice Captain Ellen, family, guests, ladies and gentlemen, you're all very, very welcome to County Armagh Golf Club tonight for President's Evening, speeches, presentations, music, great music later on. I certainly don't want to keep you too long tonight because I was told by the Lady Captain in 2006, Paddy, you've just spoken for 39 minutes and 43 seconds. And I certainly will not be doing that tonight. I have a question here. I'm not really sure how I become president of County Armagh Golf Club. And then I realised Tom Calvert come down to my house one day. And he sat in my kitchen, we had a cup of coffee. He asked me, he was proposing me to the executive for the president of the club for 2022, I think. So I accepted, and so did the executive, and I want to thank you, Tom, very, very much indeed. Thank you. On the 1st of January 2022, we all know in Armagh the Blazer ceremony at the beginning of the year. I talked about, you know, what happens to you in life, and it's all about fate and luck and the right place at the right time, and that's, I suppose, how life goes on. And I was lucky in 1971, to the end of 1971, to apply for a humble job, assistant lecturer at Armagh Technical College, as it was called at that time. And I hardly knew where Armagh City was, being from rural County Fermanagh. So, anyway, I got the job. At that time, when you got a job, you got it permanently. Not like nowadays. It's not like nowadays. We had it easier then. And I got the job, and I worked under a man called Frank Curley, who was an absolute gentleman, and he was one fine golfer in this club long before I took up golf. I married in 1974 and settled down in Armagh, and I always wanted to join the rugby club, which I did with the help of Eric Hamilton, and he looked after me for the first few months, and I had 11 great years down there, and I played my Gaelic with my club in County Fermanagh at the same time. But I was wondering at 35, 36 years old, I says, I'll better get something less arduous than rugby and Gaelic. So I really wanted to join the golf club. I was encouraged at that time by a man that's known to be a great captain years ago, Pat Russell. He was a bank manager, former golf club captain here, and he encouraged me to join under the novice memberships scheme. And eventually he coaxed me, and I joined. And so for the next 10 or 11 years, joined the golf in the club, and so on and so forth. And you always hear these boys are always talking about what's wrong and what's not right in the club and so on and so forth. A lot of these boys never do anything for the club, really, you know. And they're about it all the time. In every club, not just County Armagh. But around 1997, I knew that my good friend and neighbour Donald McEnany was becoming the club captain in 1998. And just when I'm speaking about Donald, it's just great that Donald is here tonight. As we all know, Donald was a wee scared there a few months ago, but he's living here in Hartley tonight, so well done, Donald. But the story about Donald was, I said to Donald one night after a few pints, I said, if you need anything done in 1988 when the captain, just give me a shout, Donald. I was being nice to him, basically. He'll not come back. He wandered down to the house. Paddy, we did a couple of wee jobs for me. And that got me into, I suppose, the golf administration of all sorts of things that I've done over the years. But Donald, you were the cause of that. And I did some work for you through half the year, and because of that, I think Walter Neville, the next year, your successor, asked me to join the council. And I suppose I've been involved very much from that time right up to the 31st of December 2019. And COVID came. John Lowe would say, Paddy, you knew COVID was coming and you got out quickly, didn't you? So that's the way it goes, all right? Now, I'm not going to go through all the people that normally, the captain, Jerry and Lily. Lily, by the way, is absent tonight. She couldn't attend, and we're a wee bit sorry about that. But in their speeches, Lily 2 weeks ago and Jerry further back, they went through all the people that are really deserve credit, and I'm just endorsing everything that they've said in those nights. You know, we're relating to greenkeeping staff, bar staff, caretaking, office staff, the restaurant, and of course the council, committee and the conveners who do an awful lot of work. And I'm talking about conveners particularly when this renovation of this clubhouse started to take place around 2015, 16, 17, 18. The work that I've seen conveners do, unbelievable. Some had more work than others, but I just was in admiration of all of them. And of course lately, just after COVID, the major changes we have on the course, there's a lot of big changes. It's caused debate, particularly that last hole. So a lot of you have played it today, visitors have played it today, and there's different opinions on it. But all I can say is, it's a pleasure for me to be a member of this club. It is an easy go, yeah. It certainly isn't Index 5. And I'd say it'll be changed next year when the new cards come out. I only jotted down a few things, and all I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this opportunity, probably one of my last speeches in County Armagh Golf Club. I've had 2 around them so far, but I just want to mention a few individual people, and don't feel aggrieved if I haven't mentioned your name, okay? Because I probably will forget something. There's 2 people I'd just like to thank and just mention here tonight. They're not here. One is John Lowe. John Lowe has been honorary secretary, came in after me, and to 2 difficult years in COVID, and we know now that he resigned his post last Sunday, and he's done a tremendous job. And I just want to, on behalf of the members, to thank John for everything. The other person that I had hoped to be here tonight, and he goes back a long way in the club, and he's done an awful pile of work, particularly as a Greens convener, and that's Davy Bird. Davy goes back a long way at me into the 2003, 2004 and right through, and Green conveners get great stick. We have hundreds of Green conveners in this room, you know, at various times, particularly on Saturday afternoon, and can all do a better job than Davy. But Davy gave his everything to the club, and he slipped away out of the council meeting, I heard, and he slipped away from being the Greens convener, and he also left the council that we were sitting in, and I didn't realise that, so it's very sorry. So when I was trying to get him to make sure to come, he's at a big festival of music down in Donegal somewhere, and he's there all weekend, and he said, so I'm just paying tribute to Davy. Thank you for that. I'm just mentioning the 2001 club captain, and I was delighted to see here tonight, Bill Edgar. We all know Bill has a little thing to go through in the next couple of weeks in Belfast. Bill, we're all behind you. There's another lady I'm going to mention, and you know, I talked to her when I was drunk at Jerry's captain said 4 or 5 weeks ago, and so, but I'd already organised that she'd be here, and that's Ronnie Toll, and she brought her along, her good friend Catherine McInerney, and the reason is that I think we all remember Kevin, her husband, with great affection, taken away during the COVID season. So we are thinking of you, Ronnie, all the time. Another man that doesn't get the plaudits that he should, but he's been tremendous over the years, and I'm going back a long time. he has this way of bringing people together, making money for the club and raising a lot of money for good causes, including the Kevin Bale Repatriation Trust, which there's boxes around and people have given me a lot of money today going towards that particular cause. And that's our man here, Brendan Toner. And I'm so glad that Brendan and his wife Mary are here tonight, and I just hope you enjoyed it, Brendan. You've been a tremendous asset for our club. There's people comes into our club on a Sunday, particularly during the months from October to April, May, and they can't understand why the place is packed. And it's packed because of Brendan Toner, and it's very simple. It's very simple. I'm down here for Man, but I'm wrong, I think. And I've Cormac not written beside it.
Leitrim.
Oh, I've Leitrim written underneath it. You don't have to correct me, Cormac. But yeah, when I was working in council and various things, I was stuck on something on the internet or something intricate at all, you call Cormac. And Cormac never says no to you. He'll always get you an answer. He'll always do it. And you've been good friends with me for a long time, Cormac. And as I got down here, I always thought you were from Armagh. But I knew then you were from Leitrim, but you attended Portora Royal School.
Yeah.
And you became friendly with my young brother, Michael, when he was at St. Michael's College.
No, I worked with him, yeah.
Yeah. So you're kind of from Armagh, that's right.
Sort of.
But I just want to say, Cormac, thank you for everything. And Cormac's here tonight. Doesn't have to be, but he's here tonight to take photographs, and we'll get a report in the paper. And he does it for everybody. So I appreciate that very much. I'm going to beat off the beaten track just a wee minute or two. I'm looking over at the Armagh tech crowd, you know, and a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them couldn't come, but I'm glad they were there, and I was able to sit at their table, the top table, up high. I wasn't in the main table, it was up in the old restaurant up there. And I mentioned Jerry Oates, and a lot of people saw the night and said, that's Jerry Oates, he's the teaching the college, you know. He's a Belfast man, and there's a bit of argument there about his age. And I'm not too sure, but I take what his Finnish wife, Ira, said he's 86. And I was out seeing Jerry a couple of months ago out in his home, and I was talking about how many languages do you speak anyway, Jerry? And Jerry speaks 8 languages, but he gave me a book, a great book to say that's what he's at now. So, Jerry, it's just great that you and I are here tonight, and I appreciate you coming. I'm going to mention a thing, it might irritate you, Jerry. You're sitting beside a big man there, top goalkeeper from Milford Everton years ago, Robbie McGarry, from Tamdalagee Golf Club. And do you remember the team that used to be in indoor soccer? Robbie McGarry, Oliver Grange, Hugh McAlevey and Paddy Board. The A team?
The B team.
And then you formed this B team to get up against us, you know. But we won't hold that against you, Jerry, okay? But anyway, it's good to see you, Jerry. Okay. Kathleen Mallon. Kathleen's here tonight, and she came along with a good friend. Another Kathleen thinks that see, is that right, Kathleen? No? I'm so sad to see you, but particularly Kathleen. I've been friends with Kathleen for a long, long time. And it's 7 years last Wednesday, the anniversary of Iggy's passing away. And I never forget it. I'm glad you're here, Kathleen. I've been around the club, particularly in the last 20 years, very much, and involved this and that, the other, but I've written down here, and briefly I said, I think this is the best thing I have ever done in the club. It was around July 2014. I had an interview, the captain at that time couldn't go, but I had an interview, four ladies for a part-time administration position in the club, and I just became an honorary secretary towards the end of midway through 2013, and we needed somebody good for the office. And there was no problem in picking the winner at the end of the day. I selected a girl called Elizabeth Allen, and she's with us ever since, and I think that's one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. We always sung of the same hymn sheet in the office, and I kept her abreast of who to watch out for and who not to watch out for, and so on and so forth. And but she was really loyal to the club and still is, and long may it continue, Liz. And I just want to mention, not only the pleasure was mine, but also John Lowe, who really was talking about you, and he feels the same way that I feel about you. I'm coming near the end. I don't think I've reached 20 minutes yet, so I'm okay. I want to thank my three daughters, Jackie, Laura and Louise. They've been with me all the time that I have spent in the club and whatever else I do. They've been really, really good. But I want to thank them sincerely for a night that I always remember. The 17th of January 2020, just before COVID started. They organised, with the connivance of Elizabeth Allen, you might say, yes, a big party, a 70th birthday party for me, and it was absolutely a most magnificent night in this club. And a lot of people from everywhere were here, from cousins and from all places, Dublin, Meath, Trim, Drogheda, you name it, they were there, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't know how they got to it. So I want to thank Jackie, Laura and Louise for that, and it was just great. I'm now just almost finished, but there's one thing I just want to mention here. It's known in the club this year. It's not no big secret or anything like that. But I did say to John Lowe in, I suppose it was April, May, that I would like to announce my successor as president to the executive meeting at the end of our June council meeting, and John agreed. And I went to them and I put forward my nomination for the president for 2024-25. We discussed earlier that I think it's time this club had a lady president. The president would be, or maybe I should say, the president would be a lady. And I went to see this particular lady, and she had to think about it for a couple of weeks and speak to her family and her husband, and I was very delighted that she accepted. And I just, probably a lot of people know, but I'm looking forward to seeing on the 1st of January, Elizabeth Mulwiney is our new president for 2025. I'd like to just go a wee bit further. I think the club, I'm moving away now, I won't be back in council. So I wish that maybe the president, whoever the president is, would maybe at the end of our first year nominate the president as a vice president, so it's ready for the following year. So that I was able to invite Elizabeth and John here tonight, and I was glad to do so. So maybe there can be a slight change. Instead of waiting to September, October, just before they're inaugurated, you know. But there'll be more about that on the 1st of January 2024. And as you all know, for those people who don't know what I'm talking about, the 1st of January is the best day of the club we have. It's the pleasure day, and it's good. I just hope everybody had a nice meal and enjoyed it so far, but there's lots of... Nathan Grimley is floating around there somewhere. Nathan's going to really tell you the most important things tonight. Who's won the prizes? I'm sorry I couldn't come and was lavish as Lily 2 weeks ago, but they will have to do. Okay? And there's a wonderful band playing after the presentation of prizes. They were at my 70th birthday too, and that's why I chose them. You'll really enjoy them. So could I call, I'm going to finish off, thank you, and I'm calling on the Edmund to the prize winners. Thank you very much indeed.
You're all very welcome here tonight to celebrate Paddy's special day, and it's an absolute pleasure to stand before you and second a vote of thanks to our esteemed President. In January 1950, Patrick Thomas Burns came kicking and screaming into the world, a portent of things to come. Growing up in that land of dreary steeples, Paddy spent many blissful days in the hinterland of Newton Butler, and his early sporting prowess soon manifested itself on the Gaelic field. Now back then the term silky footballer wasn't in vogue, but even if it had been, I doubt if it would have been applied to Paddy. I think the term doughty may have been more appropriate, and in today's parlance, he'd be termed an uncompromising defender. So basically a dirty. Now Paddy often tells me, I marked All-Stars, you know. But I often wonder if they only became All-Stars after they played against Paddy. But truth be told, he did play with distinction on the Fermanagh minor team for 3 years, and he's a central player when they beat a star-studded Armagh team in 1967, and had the honour of captaining them in 1968. He then progressed seamlessly to the under-21s and played in an All-Ireland final against Cork in 1971, which was genuinely no mean feat. His days in Fermanagh coming to an end, Paddy had a choice between joining the diplomatic corps or coming to teach in Armagh, and we all know how that happened. So teaching in Armagh on a paltry teacher's salary, Paddy decided to supplement his income, taking a part-time job selling encyclopedias door to door. You can just picture the sales technique, standing on the doorstep, talking for 2 hours, and I'll take the boots if you just go. So when in Armagh, Paddy expanded his sporting repertoire to include the oval ball, and he had many outings across the first, second and thirds for Armagh, notably scoring a hat-trick of tries on his debut. However, he also kept his Gaelic skills sharp by regularly travelling home to Fermanagh to turn out for Hadram C, a small club in his former parish. As age began to dictate a more sedate form of sporting exercise in 1986, golf came calling in the form of Paddy, who sold Paddy on the idea of novice membership, and off he went on the fairways of Armagh. He took to golf like a duck to water and enjoyed many successes, winning 2 monthly medals, a Hearst Cup and a Bumblebee Cup. So there's definitely no slouch with the golf sticks in his hand. He also enjoyed a winning partnership with his good friend Marty Oliver, who's here tonight, and they tasted success in the Charlton Cup a few short years ago. And he represented the club in many team competitions over the years. During this time, Paddy also found the time to start a family, and he is blessed with 3 beautiful daughters and 3 wonderful grandchildren. Indeed, James has further developed that football gene, as he has already represented Armagh at minor level, and hopefully more honours in the future. Although he's already made a mark on his grandfather, as I've definitely heard Paddy talking about Armagh as our team. And he's even going to Kroger to see them play, so welcome to the phone, Paddy. But it wasn't only playing playing golf that Paddy enjoyed as he took a foray into the running of the club when Captain Walter Neville proposed him for council in 1999, and he embraced it in the fullest manner possible. Now, he alluded to this a wee bit earlier on, but he sold himself a bit short because I'm going to give you a few sort of markers as to what he actually did do. He was in charge of sponsorship from 1999 to 2007 and greatly increased the revenue coming in. He was PRO for 4 years, and wait for it, he used to hand in the reports to the papers on a Monday morning on a floppy disk. Who remembers him? He then served a term as captain in 2006, but unlike many before or since, he once more immersed himself in the running of the club once his captaincy had passed. He was juvenile convener for a few years, during which time the boys won the Rowan Rafferty Cup and the Craigavon Shield on 3 occasions. And he then took charge of competitions for 2 years before jumping in to replace the Honorary Secretary in 2013. He served in that post with distinction before finally returned to the administration of the club in 2019, having given 20 full years of outstanding service. And that alone merits a round of applause. However, as was fully fitting, Tom Calvert nominated him for president for 2022-23. And thus we are here tonight to celebrate a great occasion with our president, Patrick Thomas Burns. Congratulations and well deserved, Paddy. So on behalf of County Armagh Golf Club, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Paddy for his many years of sterling service to the club, and can now ask you all to be upstanding and raise a glass for our president, Paddy. Patrick Thomas Burns, your president for 22-23.
Patrick Thomas!